Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing today? So, grab your coffee. Maybe some chocolate, because you just never know with me. Or do you by now? So before we get started, if you haven't signed up for our newsletter yet, please do so. Get a hold of me or Trish, okay? And we'll get you set up. Our email addresses and all the important information is always in the description box below, okay? So now let's get started. There's quite a few things that we need to talk about today, okay? I was sent an email a while back and I didn't get to it, but now that we're seeing a lot of shortages in our grocery stores, this is important to bring to light here. Okay, so the email starts out like this. I'm forwarding you this email I got from my kid's school. Please don't mention my name, which I will because I value your privacy, okay? I won't mention the name of the school. I don't want... Please don't mention the name of the school if you want to share this with others. So I won't, okay? My kids attend a Catholic private school in Massachusetts. Tuition is around $30,000 a year per student. Okay. I haven't noticed the shortages in stores, although here we go. But this was sent to me in September. So, here we go. This was a letter sent to parents. Dear students, parents, guardians, faculty, and staff, we are writing to you today to share an update with the PREPS partner. And that's all I'm going to say about the name, okay? Because I'm not going to give you the actual name of the school, okay? Because I was asked not to. Sage Dining Services and the school's daily lunch service. As many of you are aware, Rona has impacted a wide variety of areas and industries, resulting in staffing shortages and impacts on the nation's food supply chain. Our partners at Sage Dining have recently shared that they are experiencing a number of challenges related to procuring food products from their vendors. These challenges stem from a shortage of delivery drivers and food items and ultimately impact the menu options that Sage is able to offer each day. Sage is taking a number of steps to overcome these challenges, including adding backup suppliers, developing alternate order fulfillment service sources, ordering non-perishable goods with a greater lead time, making last-minute menu adjustments to address product shortages. As part of these efforts, Sage may need to adjust menus the day of service based on unplanned changes in food deliveries. This means that moving forward, food offerings may differ from the planned menu on some days. We understand that this may be inconvenient and appreciate your patience. Please know that Sage Dining will continue to work in partnership with the PREP to mitigate the impact of these challenges with the goal of returning to a normal menu planning schedule as soon as possible. Additionally, Sage is committed to increasing staffing levels and training to speed up lunch service in the coming days and weeks as we all acclimate to the new school year. We appreciate your understanding and support. Please feel free to contact us directly with any questions or concerns. So, not only are we now seeing these in stores, it's also affecting our schools and the suppliers that the schools get their food from, okay? So, I can't leave, there's no link or anything for me to leave that information to. I got the actual letter from the school, so, and she asked me not to share the name of the school, so I'm not going to leave a screenshot or anything like that. So that's why I read the letter verbatim okay, so you know what was actually said. Okay. Now, um, there was something else that I needed to talk to you about. I have to find it. Okay, so keeping up with the shortages, especially when it comes to the workers. Okay, so why is there suddenly an extremely severe shortage of workers? Not just here, but all over the world. Okay, and this was sent to me by Mawberry, and you all know her as one of my channel moderators. Okay, and she's also a very good friend of mine who I adore and I keep very close to my heart. So the unprecedented, okay, employment crisis that we are watching unfold around the globe is so bizarre. And it really is, because if you think about it, if you go to any store, even if you're just out running errands, what's the one thing that's on every storefront? Now hiring signs, right? That it could have been pulled straight out of an episode of The Twilight Zone. Do, 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 do. For the very first time in recorded history, there is an extremely severe shortage of workers in nations all over the world. When this shortage first started to emerge earlier this year, I thought that it was very strange because 2020 had been a year when we had seen unemployment absolutely skyrocket in the US and other Western nations. In fact, somewhere around 70 million Americans filed claims for unemployment benefits last year. Not too long ago, we had vast hordes of people that were out of work, and now we are suddenly facing the greatest labor shortage in history. Something's just not adding up. And when I wrote my most recent article, okay, so I'm reading an actual article here, okay, about the labor shortage, a few people wrote to me and blamed the potato administration for what we're witnessing. And it is certainly true that actions that the potato administration has taken have made the labor shortage in the United States even worse. But the potato administration is not the reason why there's an extremely severe shortage of workers, literally all over the planet. Right. It may seem that, it's for this country, sure. But all over the world? Nay, nay. Mm-mm. So in Vietnam, for example, there are so few workers that the government actually sent the army out to help with the rice harvest. Does that seem logical? No. Across the world, a dearth of workers is shaking up food supply chains. In Vietnam, the army is assisting with the rice harvest. In the UK, farmers are dumping milk because there are no truckers to collect it. Brazil's Robusta coffee beans took 120 days to reap this year, rather than the usual 90. And American meat packers are trying to lure new employees with Apple Watches, while fast food chains raise the price of burgers and burritos. Why aren't there enough people to do these jobs? We have never seen anything like this before. Considering the horrendous unemployment crisis that gripped so much of the globe during the earlier stages of this pandemic, you would think that there would be a colossal pool of desperate workers for larger companies to choose from at this point. You would think that people would be banging on doors going, just hire me. You would think that companies, and this is me talking right now, not reading this article, you would think that companies would be offering like the incentives, saying, if you're the right fit, here's an incentive to come and work, regardless of whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? I, I mean, I have uh, what's really going on here? So, but instead, it is almost as if untold numbers of low paid workers have simply disappeared. Of course, certain types of workers are far more important to the basic functioning of the global economy than other types of workers. For example, the world would be just fine if there was a severe shortage of actors and actresses. Amen to that. But if there aren't enough people to grow, process, and transport our food, that is a massive problem. And that is precisely what we're currently facing. Whether it's fruit pickers, slaughterhouse workers, truckers, warehouse operators, chefs, waiters, the global food ecosystem is buckling due to the shortage of staff. Supplies are getting hit, and some employers are forced to raise wages at a double digit pace. And that's threatening to push food prices, already heated by the soaring commodities and freight costs, even higher. Prices in August were up 33% from the same month last year. And that's according to an index compiled by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. Now, unfortunately, the shortages and price increases are eventually going to get a whole lot worse. Well, yeah, this is what we call inflation, hyperinflation, okay? I cannot recall another time in the dawn of history when the entire world has ever faced something like this. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. All over the globe, we're being told that shortages of food are being caused because there simply is not enough people to work. How many people are on this planet? Asking for a friend. Now, shortages are hitting farms, processors, and restaurants alike. Malaysia, the world's number 2 palm oil producer, has lost about 30% of potential output of the edible oil used in everything from chocolate to margarine. Shrimp production in southern Vietnam, one of the world's top exporters, has dropped by 60 to 70% from before the pandemic. And a fifth of tomato production in the south of Italy has been lost this year due to the scorching heat and transport paralysis, according to the Farmers Association. Now, before the pandemic, there was never a time when we didn't have enough workers to do the basic tasks that needed to get done. In fact, many nations around the globe were persistently facing huge problems with rampant unemployment. But now the pandemic has come along and suddenly all of our unemployment problems have been solved. I don't understand why this isn't raising red flags for more people. And here in the United States, if you want a job, you certainly have many to choose from these days. So, I don't know. I don't know. So, this is a discussion that we need to have. You know what I'm saying? A rather remarkable situation in San Diego. that we could see play out in the rest of the nation. The police union, the San Diego Police Officers Association, or SDPOA, asked their members about the mandate. Okay, 65% of the respondents said they would consider quitting the force if the city were to impose a requirement. However, an alarming 45% said they would rather be fired than comply. And the SDPOA has 1,971 members. And according to San Diego Union Tribune, half of those officers, they don't have it, right? If that half of the entire police department were to be fired for non-compliance, the city of San Diego would be, more sketchy than it already is. So the path that the potato administration has decided to take us down is absolutely just nuts. It's insane. As scores of qualified workers leave their posts, the problems that we are facing right now could go to an entirely new level. But the U.S. is only one piece of this overall puzzle. Everywhere in the world, there are alarming labor shortages. And we are being told that this is a crisis that isn't going to be solved anytime soon. So, once again, there's a very simple question that, has to be asked. Where's all the people? How many people are on this planet? With all the jobs that are out there, how many people are on the planet, and how come there's nobody to work? I mean, is that not a normal question that needs to be asked? So, and anyway. All right, guys, that's all for this video. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always,